We all have good days, bad days, and days when we're not so sure. No matter what kind of day you're having, take MindNation with you, so that good days become great, bad days become better, and so-so days become super. Get the care you need by connecting with experts in as fast as 2 minutes. Grow in your mental health journey through specialized programs just for you. Learn more about yourself and how to thrive, so that every day is closer to a better mind, better you. Download the MindNation app now. Available on Google Play and the App Store.
When I find myself worrying, reading is my therapy. It helps me gain perspective, and there's so much I've learned and taken inspiration from in dealing with my struggles. But if things get too much, seeking help helps me and reminds me I'm not alone. There's no shame in healing. As we celebrate World Mental Health Day with MindNation, let's remember to prioritize mental health and normalize asking for help. Better mind, better you.
To prevent myself from getting burned out, I see to it that I take a break from time to time. And sometimes when life has been feeling heavy, I'm thankful that I have people that I can talk to about it and are willing to listen. There's no shame in healing. As we celebrate World Mental Health Day with MindNation, let's make mental health a priority and normalize seeking help. Better mind, better you.
Taking care of your mental health comes in many forms. For me, exercise is therapy. There's nothing like metabolizing my emotions through movement. It makes me feel grounded and keeps me attuned to my body. There is zero shame in healing. As we celebrate World Mental Health Day with MindNation, may we prioritize mental health and normalize seeking help. Better mind, better you.
I am speaks of me, here, right now. Yet it also whispers of where I began and how far I have come. I am is an expression of who I am becoming and where I am headed to. I am is a declaration of me. The 2023 Belle Jour Power Planner comes in 4 beautiful designs to suit your personality and packed with introspective monthly worksheets and pages inspired by the beautiful traits of each month's featured birth flower, 68 coupons from food, fashion, lifestyle, and essential care brands. The vertical weekly layout, monthly calendars, and special pages on creamy 100 GSM FS certified paper is now fountain pen and watercolor friendly. Take note of appointments, ideas, and be inspired to dream and plan for a life full of joy as BDJ guides you on how to set goals and journal your desires. Explore and express who you are as you see yourself clearly, beautifully with your BDJ Power Planner. A new year comes with a promise of new dreams. This 2023, the Everything is Possible journey is coming into alignment by tuning inwards and outwards. Each month of this year's Everything is Possible journal is embedded with music found in nature, tuned to 432 Hz sounds, a well-balanced frequency that provides great clarity that you can meditate on and help tune into your inner balance, ground yourself in your reality, and manifest your goals and plan for the many possibilities in your life this year. The EIP's Forest Stewardship Certified Creamy Paper is now fountain pen and watercolor friendly too. EIP's vertical weekly layout, monthly calendars, and special pages allow you space to take note of appointments, ideas, and inspire you to align to your most balanced frequency by walking you through your vision, help track your habits, practice gratitude, guide you on how to set goals, and journal your life's abundant opportunities. Listen and allow life to happen for you. The 2023 Navi Journal honors your life's journeys, even the roadblocks, detours, and celebrates your highways by paying tribute to the image of the wheel. Showcasing the world's most memorable bike treks, train rides, and road trips, every monthly divider takes you on a breathtaking scenic road. As the world emerges from the shadows of the pandemic, Navi rekindles the flame of wanderlust within you and revs up your engine to seek out the roads less traveled. This handsome brown leather-covered journal not only comes with coupons from food and lifestyle brands, it now comes undated, so you can start on any month, any week, and journal or plan on creamy fountain pen and watercolor-friendly FS certified paper. Every winding road you take, just like your life journeys, potholes, and detours, the Navi Journal will be your guide, so you can set your goals and ride past the challenges along your way. This is your sign to take the ride of your life. The dragon's eye stands for the balance of love, power, and wisdom, an equilibrium in your life when you make the right choices. This 2023, the Focus Journal invites you to center, choose, commit, by walking you through your vision, guide you on how to set goals, and journal from your grounded center, help track your habits, practice gratitude, and so much more. Its monthly calendars and grid weekly layout give you space to plan, journal, or simply focus on small tasks or big projects. It also comes with a back pocket to keep everything in one place. With dedicated pages for monthly check-ins and journaling prompts, the Focus Journal also features crisp, high-quality, fountain pen-friendly FS certified paper. Take note of appointments, ideas, and be inspired to choose and commit to what matters most. Because life is full of choices, and finding inner peace is a personal choice. Give yourself the gift of a fresh, clean start. The Essentials Planner is a must-have whether you're a minimalist or a maximalist. The classic and elegant gold stamping on its matte black craft cover and creamy dotted inside pages is the perfect backdrop for your gratitude lists, vision setting, year-long planning, schedule in your monthly appointments, weekly to-do lists, and daily tasks. Journal and plan with your Essentials Planner. Pour your heart out and create scrapbooks like a diary. Create bullet lists, grids for your projects, or maybe horizontal schedules just the way you want to. Your style, your way. It truly will be your most essential planner. Power comes in all sizes. The 2023 Petite Planner is your pocket-sized, powerful companion. With two hard-to-miss designs to choose from, this planner packs a lot for its carry anywhere, anytime size. Used as a handy daily, weekly, and monthly scheduling tool, its PVC cover comes with a zipper and pockets to put in important notes, cards, or money. Just like our signature planners, set your year's vision with journaling, planning, and goal-setting guides, and easily create a gratitude practice and track your habits on the go. You can easily pull out your petite planner to plan for the small stuff and dream for the big things on the petite planner. Unleash your power.
From here on, I want you to open yourself to receiving.
Say, wait, I don't deserve it yet. Okay, I need to work hard for that.
You get rid of the clutter in your home, in your life.
When we receive our experiences and how we can train it better and help us have better results in life.
Know that every cell in your body eavesdrops on your thoughts.
Instead of being afraid, instead of like turning it away, welcome it because it's just like any other emotion.
You are powerful because of who you are and what you are, not because of who you are not.
You know how important you are. You know how important your life is.
Knowing that we are light.
You have a unique human design blueprint. You do. And it shows you your important role in the universe, what your soul purpose is, basically by showing you who you're not.
There's still one thing in our lives that we can control.
Simply meet the intention. Connect your issues.
Faith is not believing that God can. It is knowing that God will. So my fear has also been replaced by expectant faith.
And then life will be better.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. It's time again for our monthly check-in with MindNation. So, as you guys know, every last Wednesday of the month, we do our monthly check-in in our communities, the Belle Jour Power Planner, of course, Crazy About Paper, and of course, MindNation with also our Facebook group, which is our Bella Tribe and You Got This PH, and of course our BDJ Studio YouTube channel. So welcome everyone. And this month, as you guys know, every October is actually Mental Health Month. So this October 10, so lumampas na, is the celebration of the World Mental Health Day, which is an initiative led by the World Health Organization or the WHO. So our partner, MindNation, is actively supporting WHO's mission to make mental health and well-being a global priority. And this is why tonight we will be focusing on ways on how we can prioritize our own mental health and well-being, from self-care to seeking the help we need. So, are you guys excited? Or a bit, we might be a bit short on time, so we want to get this conversation started. So, let me call my partner for tonight, Chua, representing MindNation. Hello, Jack. Ayan, salise.
And hello. Hi, Dar.
Hello,
Good
hello.
evening. Hello to the Bellas. Hello to those from the MindNation community watching tonight. Kat cannot be here. I'm subbing for her. Kat has to travel for work. So here I am. Hello.
Oh, welcome. You're my second partner in crime kasi nagsasama naman tayo sa ibang hosting activities natin with MindNation. So, Jack, speaking of the conversation I mentioned earlier, so MindNation, I think you guys have a campaign this October, is that right? Like the Everything is Therapy campaign. Can you share to us like what that is all about?
Yes, I'm very, very excited to talk about this. No, so it's hashtag Everything is Therapy. So coming from the World Mental Health Day's theme this year of making mental health and well-being a priority for all, we started with addressing ano nga ba yung mga cultural barriers in putting importance or the utmost importance or prioritizing mental health care. And the reality is that there are a lot of misconceptions that still surround this topic about seeking help, seeking therapy, talking to a psychologist. Ang laki pa rin ng stigma. So, in
Yes,
partnership
so much
with the
agree.
ad agency, Propel Manila, hashtag Everything is Therapy is a campaign that aims to put light into everyday habits that help us cope when we are stressed or anxious or feeling unwell, no? So it can be anything like reading or exercising, watching Netflix, even gardening. So these are examples of mini therapies that we do every day without even realizing na therapy na rin pala sila. Kaya nga, everything is therapy and they're part of our self-care routine. So, it is in recognizing that, uy, everything is therapy pala. It's how we get to open our minds and hearts to also seeking help from an expert or in short, trying out real therapy naman.
Correct, correct. I really like that. I really love that. Kasi parang, I think one of the most important things that we talk about also with BTJ and with Mind Nation is really moving into a journey of self-awareness. And when we are in this path of self-awareness, we are more cognizant of the things that make us happier, make us like feel a bit better. And as you said, yung mga coping. But syempre, as pinag-uusapan nga natin, iba pa din siya when we get proper support from professionals. And this is one of the things that we want to destigmatize, especially this month. So I think we have our guests in the backstage. We're ready. So our first guest for tonight is Eiza Fusingan, the Chief Wellbeing Officer and Lead Psychologist of MindNation. She is also the part-time faculty member of the Department of Psychology of the University of Santo Tomas, where she is currently taking her doctorate program. Alongside the clinical practice and teaching, she is also a volunteer expert for the PWD community at Las Piñas City. Let's all welcome Miss Eiza. Hello. Come on in. Ayan.
Miss Aza is a familiar face, right? She was with us last month when we were talking about
Correct.
suicide
Hello.
prevention.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am feeling great actually this Wednesday evening. Of course, I'm always grateful to be part of this platform. It serves as a safe space to talk about mental health. Also excited about our discussion tonight, which would help everyone, especially our audience who wants to know more about how they could take care of their mental health better.
Exactly. So, guys, if you are watching us tonight and if you know anyone who might just need this conversation for tonight, please tag them or share them in your tag and share them in your social media pages. So, our second guest, Jack.
Yes, because October is a special month, meron din tayong very special guest. We are in the presence of royalty, kumbaga a true queen who exemplifies beauty with a purpose. She is a staunch mental health advocate who uses her platform to raise awareness and normalize conversations on mental health care. Let us give a warm welcome to our reigning Miss Universe Philippines, Miss Celeste Cortesi. Hi,
Hel-
Celeste.
Hello, Miss
Hello.
Celeste.
Hi, good evening.
How are
Welcome.
you?
Thank you.
So, Miss Celeste, you've been very vocal in supporting the advocacy on mental health. And just recently, you shared the post sa Instagram mo about this stigmatizing mental health issues and being
Hmm.
kind to oneself. Kasi, I mean, I guess it was in line with the World Mental Health
Yeah.
Day. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, of course. I really wanted to make that post on Instagram because I truly believe it is important to normalize conversations about mental health, especially I have so many people looking up to me,
Yeah.
followers. So I really want to give out that message, and the fact that um, everyone can go through struggles, challenges. We go through very hard times, but sometimes you have to stop for a moment and just prioritize your mental health and really take care of yourself. And that's what I do. That's what I do whenever I'm going through something. I just stop for a moment, and it's important because it's as important as your physical health. So I just wanted to remind
Definitely.
everyone to never forget to prioritize your mental health.
Yeah, I just want to comment someone like Celeste who's so beautiful, so smart, so accomplished. She still has struggles. So what more tayo? Mga
No.
ordinary people. So thank you, Celeste, for saying something like that, no, and for really reminding people to prioritize mental health and by extension prioritizing self care. So
Yes.
just to go back, this is really the core of Mind Nation's campaign this month, no, that there are a lot of activities that we do in our everyday lives to cope with the stresses and anxieties that we encounter. So for
Mhm.
example, with me, it's really reading or watching Netflix. How about you guys? What are your mini therapies? Dar, ikaw.
Ako, mini therapy ko rin is like watching like the series with my husband. And others is really, I guess this is the benefit when you have two young kids. They're like super stress relievers. So parang ayun, parang at home that's really my mini therapy, and of course taking a bath. I really just like taking a bath, like I don't know, parang it's one of those small things that like after you do it, I really just significantly feel better. So
Yeah.
that's me.
So for those watching us, to our audience members, please share in the chat what are your mini therapies, and then maybe now we go to Miss Aiza and then Celeste. Can you share what are your mini therapies?
Well, for me, as someone who helps other people in taking care of their mental health and well being, it is very important that I have my own personal therapy or mini therapies before and after my session. So, before my session, I usually do deep breathing exercises to help me relax. I do grounding techniques to engage my senses. So, I have here my scented candles, I have all of these oils that I need for aromatherapy, and then listening to calming music also. I practice the mindfulness activities, which I also facilitate to my clients, just for me to have that optimal state of mind before I help someone. So we cannot pour from an empty cup, of course.
How about you,
Okay.
Miss Celeste?
Me, honestly, I really have a lot. Like whenever I feel overwhelmed or very stressed, I really like to read. I like to meditate. I usually just turn off my social media, and I really, yeah, and I really, just stay with myself. And sometimes when I can, I also go out of town for a few days. Just you have to know when it's the moment and the right moment to really prioritize yourself. So this has really helped me a lot.
Yeah, kasi 'di ba they say it's not about finding time, it's making time, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Correct, correct. And yes, this is part of my mini therapy. So she's just showing herself for my commercial. So
Yeah, Mela in the chat is saying that her mini therapy is spending time with their pets.
Oh
Ayan.
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Of
same.
course.
I also have a cat.
Yeah,
That's my pet.
Oo, yeah. So
So
yeah, it's really important, no? Like what I said, we really have to make time for either self-care and seeking help and coping. But I think the problem is that the reason people are so hesitant to really express their need to seek help is because there are so many definitions of what help really means to someone or what true coping means to someone that they end up actually doing medyo mga toxic or unhealthy means of coping. So, Miss Aza, are there instances when self care can turn out to be something unhealthy or toxic?
All right. So first here, we need to understand that self-care is different from coping, but they are related to each other. Okay? So self-care is mostly used as a preventive measure before stress happens, while coping strategies are the ones we utilize when we are under stress, while we are experiencing these challenging events. Personally, I'd like to define self-care as self-compassion and it's self-nurturing. This is being kind to ourselves, no, and helping ourselves grow. And of course, with stress happening, it's inevitable. I see that self care is a positive behavior pattern. It helps us to manage our daily life stressor. But sometimes our coping strategies about that stress could be toxic. Let's say, for instance, you're managing your stress through eating a lot, unhealthy food, comfort food, of course, sleeping too much without moving your body, or shopping
Mm.
nonstop. You have a lot of add to cart or check out there and playing video games all day. Some are even drinking alcohol as a way to relax. So these are their self care. But it seems that it's not caring for themselves anymore. It's not nurturing themselves. So it's destructive already with their health. So again, self care is something that nurtures and is compassionate. It's being kind to ourselves. Okay, so it's becoming self-indulging when it's not self-care, like overdoing things. So being aware of our limits, that's part of self-care. That's part of the love and care we give to ourselves. Remember, self-care is not selfish. Self-indulgence is.
I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
I really love that statement kasi I think parang yun nga minsan nagiging ano din na parang people judge other people when they do a lot of self-care kasi they feel it's becoming too self-indulgent. So I guess that's like a very good statement that parang self-care is not selfish. Being self-indulgent is being selfish. So it's like when we do whatever coping strategies that we need to, let's say, even for example, as you shared, like drinking alcohol or sleeping, resting, when it becomes too much, then it becomes toxic. Then it
That's
becomes
right.
too self-indulgent. So I really love that. And I think one of the challenges also right now is that parang iniisip na lang natin, oh, since we have these many therapies, maybe ito na lang, okay na to, kaya ko na
Mm.
to, kakayanin ko na lang to. So, for even despite a lot of conversations that we have here in BDJ, in Mind Nation, and in the past 2 years during the pandemic, I'm still surprised that there is still shame that exists right now in terms of seeking help. And I just realized it recently. I don't know if I was just too much in the space of conversations on mental health. Kaya parang akala ko normalized na siya. But apparently it's not. So, what do you think, Miss Aza? Like, how do we debunk like the most common myths in therapy? Kasi parang ito, I hear this pa din, ah. I'm super surprised. Like, um, going to therapy means I'm crazy.
Oh, this is definitely a myth. We go to therapy to have a better understanding of ourselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have the disorder before we seek help. It's even better to take therapy session as a preventive measure for the development of the symptoms. So when we go to therapy, we could have an additional safe space to process what we feel. You may not have someone who could assist you, like your friends or family members, in terms of processing your daily concerns and worries. So here we are, trained and licensed professionals to help you with understanding what you're feeling and also to guide you towards gaining insights about your life experiences. So we don't actually just give advice. We lead you towards the realization of your experiences. Okay? We are here to help our clients help themselves. And I hope that you would take this step to establish more awareness and introspect about the ways we could further improve. That's the point of being in therapy. We want to improve. All of us are a
Yes,
work in progress. And the progress just gets better when we have someone with us, like a mental health professional in your journey.
correct. How about you, Miss Celeste? How do you feel about that parang myth that going to therapy means I'm crazy?
As you said, also like I feel like going to therapy should be like going to your doctor for for checkups. You don't need to go through something or some struggles or challenges. It is okay to go regularly to your therapist.
Yeah.
And I say this because I've been going to a psychologist even way before. I think my first session was when I was only 16. So I was very young. I was just in high school. And I think that that's the reason why we really have to normalize this kind of conversations, because there is nothing wrong in wanting to seek help or wanting to
Yes.
see a therapist, you don't need to go through something for you to go to a therapist. Should be like going to your doctor.
Correct.
So it is very, very important.
Yeah.
Jack, how about you?
I just want to add, I remember talking to a student because we also have clients who are schools now. And I remember talking to a student just to ask, so are you going to talk to someone from my nation? And he says, oh, I don't need to. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. That was even the term that he used. And I realized there is a stigma against those who are really struggling and who want to seek help. But there is an even bigger, I wouldn't call it a stigma, but maybe a misconception that there has to be something wrong with you before you can
Exactly.
seek help. So I like what
Correct,
Miss
correct.
Aza said, that therapy should be preventive. And I like what Celeste said, that going to a therapist should be like going to a doctor for checkup. We should always want to check if how we can be better, how we can be healthier mentally, and maybe anticipate things that might happen that can keep us from becoming better versions of ourselves, right?
Correct, correct.
Mm.
So we have the question number two. Jack, do you wanna
Yes,
share?
oo. So related to that, I think another reason people are afraid to go to therapy is because they fear that they need to tell their deepest, darkest secrets in order to get better. So yung mga tinatago nilang mga trauma or yung mga kinahihiya nila, things they are ashamed of, they really don't want to confide in a stranger. So, Miss Aza, do they really have to do that in order to get better?
Well, for most of my clients, especially those who tried psychologist session for the very first time, they would express feeling nervous. They also express not having the right words to say or how they could express what they feel. And they asked actually if they needed to say everything. Well, actually, during the first session, especially, it's okay to just take it one step at a time. You know, psychotherapy is a process. You don't have to divulge your deepest, darkest secret in the first session or even in the follow up session if you're not ready to share the details yet. Okay, so during the first session, I usually try to have that initial intake to get the context of what's happening. And that would help us be guided to the creation of the treatment plan. So, yes, we will ask about your personal and family background, but you may focus on sharing what you feel rather than looking into details. But there are some situations actually that we need to hear out the details for us to get the clarity of the situation. Just know that everything you share during therapy, it is 100% confidential. Okay? And here at MindNation, we secure all these session notes. And sometimes sharing memories you just want to forget, it will help if you will actually reprocess them. Like, we have this
Agree,
crumpled
agree.
paper in your trash bin of memories. We can assist you in folding them neatly by reprocessing them. So you have more space, no, for new memories.
How about you, Miss Celeste? What do you
Yeah,
think about this myth?
yeah, it's true. Like I heard so many people being scared of sharing everything about their life to, strangers, let's say. But then we also have to understand that this is a professional help, and it is really a process. Therapy is a process. It's not like your first session you're gonna share everything about your life if you're not comfortable with it. You can
Correct.
really listen to yourself. But what I really liked about therapy, especially with my nation, because I already had few sessions, for myself, is that they really make you comfortable first, and it is not like talking to a stranger anymore. To be honest, it's more of a feeling that you can trust them in telling your story. And of course, the more you say, the more you will get the help that you need. So it is okay to share, but you can take your time. You can really take your time.
Correct, correct. Ako naman, I think like in terms of sharing the deepest, darkest secrets in order to get better. Kasi I think 'di ba yun na parang kailangan kong i-unearth like all my hurts, all my wounds in order to get better. I I get where this myth is coming from. Kasi to a certain extent, 'di ba, we have to like process the things that parang are hurting us so that we can understand it better, so we can again process it better and then move forward. but you don't have, you're not forced to share it unless it's
Mhm.
relevant. So if it's connected to whatever you're going through right now, 'di ba? Parang kunwari, let's say you're carrying some unnecessary baggage. Syempre, pag sasabihan ka ng doctor or ng therapist na, oh, baka gusto mong ibaba yung baggage kasi nabibigatan ka na, 'di ba? So maybe it's something like that that we can maybe flip how we look at it, that instead of we're so scared that our secrets will come out, but rather like um we're only divulging things if it's relevant to what is going on in our lives right now.
Yeah.
Meaning the therapist won't like try to make kalkal sa ano sa life mo kasi wala lang, nagmamarites lang siya. Hindi niya yun gagawin. It's really very related to whatever problems and challenges that you're going through right now.
Yeah,
So,
I agree, Dar. Parang you said it right, no? The therapist is not there to make chismes or to get information just for the sake of satisfying their curiosity, but they're really trained to probe, to ask the right questions. And if there's a question you're not comfortable answering, they ask something else, and then you end
correct.
up still being able to talk the problem through, di ba?
Yes, 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 correct. So, the third myth that we will be discussing is that I will be okay after one session of therapy. What do you think, Miss Aza?
Again, as I mentioned, therapy is a process. So, change of behavior patterns is not an overnight work. Hindi tayo mag-change agad no, after one session or even to cure or to manage our symptoms in just one therapy session. We need to consistently practice. That's why after each of my session, I provide modules to my clients for them to practice, to develop that particular healthy coping. And of course, we need that consistent guidance. The first session, again, it's usually dedicated to build rapport, getting to know the client's problem, and of course, set therapy goals. So for those who are thinking about seeking help, so make sure that you have your therapy goals with you so we could be guided in the process. In the initial session, again, it helps us to establish the treatment plan. And that personalized treatment plan, it's not for one session only. So we will get through all these concerns for different kinds of days or weeks, no, depending upon the concern. So here, I'd like to emphasize again, recovery process is a journey. And we are here to journey with you. The progress is not linear. There could be like relapse. Like in the still ocean, there could be these waves. But then when you get the relapse, it's not that you are back to square one. You just have to resume what you've started. Let's say when you started your session with your therapy for the first time, maybe you could go back again. You just have to reach out to your therapist. And again, we're here to support you. And we're here for you.
Miss Celeste, you shared like you visited the therapist as early as 16 years old. How was your mental health journey for you?
I was very young, and what I really, because for those who don't know, I grew up in Italy, so I went to school in Italy, and what I really liked at the time is the fact that you were able to seek professional help through your school. So,
Mm-hmm.
during breaks, I would go to the psychologist, for example. And I really wish it would be like this here in the Philippines, because we really have to normalize it. And as I said, I went there when I was only 16 years old, but I have to say it really helped me a lot. Whatever, I was going through at that time really helped me in knowing a lot about myself and really somehow heal from where I was at the time. And as you said, it is really a process. We cannot expect to heal just overnight or after one session or few session. It's something that we really have to put in our lives, regularly. As I said earlier, whenever we book an appointment with our doctor every month, we do the same with our therapist. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's really about normalizing everything. And you don't know how much it can help you, as long as you don't try it first. You really have to try it and be consistent with it for you to see the results and how much benefits you can have by just talking to a therapist.
Yeah. So I think it's really the sometimes I feel like parang siguro kasi sometimes the concern also is like the financial investment, right? That if you
Mm.
go to therapy, you have to go with a series of session, and sometimes you wish that it will be done in one session. But the reality is parang people are complicated. We are complicated. If we were simple, then we wouldn't need the therapist. But people, our emotions, how we process things, how we perceive things. It's really very, um, I guess it's complex, diba? So parang
Yeah.
this is one of the things that a professional can help you decipher yourself, decipher what is going on in your head, especially if, di ba may mga times na hindi ko na naiintindihan anong nararamdaman ko or hindi ko na naiintindihan bakit ko ba 'to iniisip or bakit ba ako sobrang nase-stress and parang no matter what I do, I can't seem to get out of a rut. And for me, that's really when you talk to a therapist, ask for professional help, you're actually allowing yourself to look in a mirror, 'di ba? Look at the mirror, 'di ba? Na parang
Mm.
may kaharap ka, then maybe you see some parts of yourself through the mirror reflected back at you, which if you didn't have a mirror, you really won't see your ears, right? Or you won't really see this part of your face or something like that. So sometimes you really just need someone to talk to. And I would differentiate this with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
'Di ba?
You were
Mm.
talking rin kanina about financial implications of therapy, and then may naalala kong isa pang myth that people don't seek help because they're saying, why would I have to pay to tell someone about my problems? I can just talk to my friend. That one is free.
Exactly.
Miss Aza, what do we say to people who think like that?
Well, of course, I'd like to validate that talking to our friends is one of the many ways to cope better. Like, it feels good
Correct.
to have someone who listens to us. Like, we have this go to person. This is actually a protective factor towards the development of various mental health issues. And, well, it's good to have like a way to vent out your emotions because emotions are meant to be expressed but not kept, of course. But there could be this emotional bias when we talk to our friends, and there's this fear of judgment. Okay? Some actually felt that they could be adding up to the friend's existing issues. So they choose to have a professional listen to them, like a stranger. They don't know your story, they don't know you personally. They just focus on your presenting issues and how we could better help you to cope with that. We are trained to deliver various interventions which are empirically proven. Like we study these for longer years just to help you probe this concern and assist you to develop healthy coping mechanisms. So, yes, talking to a friend is good, but having a therapist to help you with in your mental health journey, of course, it's something that you could trust. No? We study that, and also your sessions are confidential. We're not again doing marites, nothing. So we are making sure that all the things that you would tell us, it would come out good. It's for you to improve. Okay.
How about you, Miss Celeste? Like, could you share with us like the benefits of therapy for you?
Yes, of course. I mean, it really helps you talking to a friend, that we cannot deny that. But talking to a therapist is also completely different because this person doesn't know you. It's like a stranger for you. So he has a different point of view. And also, let's not forget the fact that those therapists are licensed. So they know where to help you, they really know what to do. And I would say it's really not like talking to a friend. It's completely different. And sometimes when you talk to your friend, you're like scared that you're gonna be judged, or maybe your friend is gonna talk to other friends, and then your problems are all of a sudden are out and about. But talking to a therapist is like having a safe space where you can talk to someone without being judged, and this person is professional, and this person can really help you in healing. So it's completely different, and I would suggest to go to a therapist and also have your friends. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to add, guys, to those who are listening, we are not saying you should not talk to your friends. Of course, it's perfectly okay to talk to your friends or your family members if you need a quick advice or listening ear. But sometimes, kasi, we need more than a shoulder to cry on. There are situations that our family or friends may not be equipped to handle, or probably they're not comfortable handling because they also have their own problems. So on the other hand, at least mental health experts, the therapists, they are trained to listen to you and to help you out of your situation.
Okay. Now we actually have a couple of questions, Jack. Maybe we can entertain one.
Yes. This one I
So
like from Mela.
I
Okay, from
sorry.
Jay first. Sige,
Sige.
sige. Okay
Sige,
lang.
si Jay
From
muna.
Jay. Yes. How can you know if you are experiencing stress, and how do you differentiate stress from pressure? Miss Aiza.
All right. So first stop, you need to define for stress. No, it's a normal part of life, and it's a reaction to various events in our life. So here we also have to consider that stress is also not always negative. All right. So we have this positive stress called as eustress. So we have this negative stress, which I could say the part where you get pressured. So that's distress already. So when we say you are getting the distress, you're experiencing bodily sensations, you also change in behavior, thinking, and your emotions. It's like you're having mood swings or you're having difficulty with focus. So you need to observe this. It is very important that you recognize the symptoms, the signs and symptoms of stress. That's the first step for you to eventually know how you could manage these stressors.
Yes. How about you, Miss Celeste? Do you have like any suggestions on how RJ can differentiate stress versus
Uh,
pressure?
I like this question because I would ask the same. I also go through, as everybody else, through stress, and sometimes I also feel pressured, but it's kind of hard to separate the two for me because for example, I'm stressed. I know when I'm stressed, when I cannot focus anymore, and when my mood swings. That's when I know I'm very stressed, and then I know I'm pressure when it's like a lot of stress combined. It's more in the long term. I feel stress in one moment, but then I feel pressure when this stress continues for days and days. So yeah, it is really hard, but then as you said, you really have to know the symptoms and what is causing your stress and pressure, and then you really have to know how to copy with this kind of symptoms. For example, as I said earlier, whenever I feel pressured or I feel very stressed, I just take a break and breathe, and I think of what really matters for me right now, and it is my mental health. I just need a break. So yeah, you have to
Yeah.
recognize all of these things and know how to copy to all of this kind of pressure and stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Speak.
to add lang, parang either whether it's stress or pressure, I guess what I would focus on is not so much in differentiating the two, Jay, but rather if umaabot ba siya to an unhealthy levels. So like unhealthy levels of stress and unhealthy levels of pressure. So
Mm.
I think the more the indicator whether versus differentiating the two is really just, is this healthy pa ba na I'm so stressed or hindi na? Or sometimes, is this healthy pa ba, this level of pressure that I'm feeling, whether it's work, family, self-pressure, self-imposed pressure, that's also possible,
Mhm.
right? And maybe that is an indicator. If you need to process that, maybe it's time to seek professional help.
Oo. And just to add, I think that's why it's important yung sinasabi ni Miss Aiza kanina, that we should do self-care and we should make self-care a habit. Para when time comes that you're feeling stress or pressure, automatic, like what Celeste does, automatic it kicks in, that she takes a step back, she rests, and she reminds herself, wait, I need to prioritize my mental health first. So there's a long weekend coming up, guys, 4 days. So make the most out of it to rest or to reassess, to rethink. 'Di ba? What is it that I need in my life right now? What could make me happier or healthier?
Yes. So we
Okay.
also have another question. This one is from Mela Rosal. How do you suggest therapy to a friend without offending them? Maybe Miss Celeste wants to answer this first.
Hmm, this is a good question. It depends, of course, with the friend you're talking to, because like most of my friends are very open about it. But then, if you don't want to offend them, maybe just start talking about it, talk about your experiences first, and make your friend understand that it is normal to seek help and he should not be ashamed of it. It is fine. It is fine if you want to heal through therapy, and you would want to encourage him or her to go to therapy, because there is nothing wrong with that. So I think it really starts from normalizing a conversation, a casual conversation about it, and then hopefully this friend will listen to you.
Miss Aza, how about you? How would you recommend going about convincing someone to try therapy?
Well, actually, what mostly works, no, because I have these clients. Of course, they have their partners whom they want to convince to seek help. So it starts with sharing their own experience with therapy. So how it helped them, how it helped them to develop better coping, how it helped them to better understand themselves, and how they could be good in terms of the relationship. So to develop also healthy behavior patterns. So with this, when you're able to share them the benefits of seeking professional help, so that could be the one thing to encourage them also. And at the same time, we could also open up, conversations, as Celeste said, spontaneous conversation, taking time to listen with them as well, and highlight the importance of having someone who listens to you. And you could go through about, therapy could be a means for you to have someone to listen to, and you not be judged about it, and you will be guided towards proper intervention, especially if you observe that there are some unhealthy behavior patterns already occurring. So yeah.
Yeah. I really like that parang that essentially you talk about your own experience. Kasi parang sometimes if you recommend it and it's not coming from your own experience, it feels like you're imposing an
Mm.
advice to your friend, right? So, but when you're talking about, oh, this is what happened to me and this is what helped me, maybe it can help you, feels a bit less imposing,
Yeah.
right? So, do you want the third question? Do you want to handle this, Jack?
Yeah, this one we hear often, no, and ako rin mismo, I'm still not clear. Ano ba ang difference ng anxiety attack or panic attack? Miss Aza.
Okay, so for anxiety attack, we need to consider the thought patterns, the cognitive distortion, the negative thinking patterns that are debilitating. So let's say, for example, you're having anxiety attacks when you think about you not being good enough, you're worthless. So it's more of the thoughts. While panic attacks, it focus on the sensation that you're feeling in your body. Like suddenly you would feel, this is abrupt and sudden. You'd feel this heart, pounding, and
Palpitate.
then yeah, palpitating, and of course you have the sweat all over your body. So it's mostly the body reacting to a particular stressor. And that's how they're different. Anxiety attacks focus on the thoughts, while the panic attacks, it's sudden and abrupt manifestation in your body.
Okay. How about um we have one last question. It's a bit of a sensitive question. Are we okay to handle it? So, how do we handle a suicidal person? So, I guess the sensitivities that we have with suicidal is number one is it suicidal thoughts, right? Versus my action ba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to identify first. Of course, we need to practice, the three L's: look, listen, and link. Okay, look first. What are the behavior patterns exhibited, with these person who's having either thoughts or actions So if it's suicidal ideations, it's important that we try to talk to the person, take time to listen, and it's very important also to link them. It's beyond our power, especially if we're not trained to handle such cases. So a professional could handle that for you. And for those who are doing it in action, so maybe it's good to remove everything that the person could use, or to call an ambulance. It's good to have additional support, the local barangay officials. So it's your way of protecting the person. And for those who doesn't even want to share to their family members that they're exhibiting these suicidal ideations or actions, it's good that you would do so. During this time, it's important to breach the confidentiality if it's life and death matter. And what's important is, again, we encourage them to seek professional help, because that will help them to develop healthier coping and know that they're not alone in this.
Yeah. I think the very first thing with ano is just being there for people first and foremost, like not syempre the idea is, or the goal is to be able to give them professional help, but parang it's also us being able to truly connect with our family and friends para lang we can give them the support that is needed also. So how
Yeah,
about you? Go ahead.
and just to add, Dar, sorry. Go ahead, Celeste.
No, no, go.
Okay,
Go,
no,
go.
I just wanted to add to what
Go
Dar
ahead.
said, that even us, the family members of someone who is thinking of suicide, we can also benefit from seeking professional help, not just the person who is considering suicide. When we talk to experts, we also learn how to communicate better. We learn how
Yes.
to identify the warning signs. We learn the skills that are needed to help someone who is in distress. So on our own, it's also perfectly okay. Again, you don't need to be in distress to seek professional help. You can
Correct.
seek professional help to learn how to help someone who is in distress. Yes, and I'm sorry, Celeste, you were saying something.
No, I was saying because I honestly had friends that they really developed these suicidal thoughts, and it really makes me sad. My heart breaks. But I cannot highlight enough the importance of always checking up on your friends and families. Like, even just a message, how are you? You don't know what these people are going through. And just you being there for them, just you listening to whatever they want to say, it helps so much. So it should always be an habit for us to send a message to your friend, to the people you know, to your family, because you don't know actually how many lives you can save by just listening to them. So it is very, very important to prevent.
Correct. Correct. Ayan. Ang bilis ng time, Jack.
I know.
Parang ano lang, 5 minutes, tapos na tayo. So,
Oo.
um, we'd like to thank our special guest tonight, of course, Miss Universe, Miss Celeste Cortesi, for joining us in our partnership with MindNation in the BTJ Power Planner, and of course, celebrating World Mental Health Month, and of course, talking about the campaign of Mind Nation, hashtag everything is therapy. We invite you, Ms. Celeste, for some final words.
Well, of course, I just want to say thank you for the people that have been watching today. And thank you to my nation for this opportunity to talk about mental health. I will always be an advocate of mental health no matter what. And I hope I can really share my experiences to the public. And I hope that we can really every single day normalize this kind of conversations because it is really important. So I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. And I hope we will have more lives, more interviews, and more chances to talk about it.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you. And of course, thank you to Miss Eiza, who is always present and willing to talk to us about mental health and therapy and making it so easy for us to understand. Miss Eiza, any final words?
Of course, regarding self-care, no, remember that it comes with knowledge and awareness of our strengths, weaknesses, acceptance of our shortcomings, and applying it on a daily basis, making it a habit. Taking care and understanding a self, it's a process. Therapy is a process. So our journey towards better mental health, it requires patience and compassion. But it's definitely worth all the efforts when we notice ourselves constantly improving and also thriving in our relationship. So make sure that you have your daily mental hygiene regimen. You could seek professional help and make every day our mental health day.
Yes.
Yes.
Ayan. Jack, I heard you guys have a new initiative. Maybe you can share that with our community.
Yes. So kanina we were talking about different kinds of mini therapies, like reading is therapy, raising plants, raising pets is therapy. We also have paying it forward is therapy. So this month we launched the Mind Nation Community Therapy Fund initiative. So for everyone out there who books a psychologist session between now and November 11, My Nation will actually match that with one free session with a well-being coach that people who want therapy but cannot afford it can redeem for themselves. Again, it's for free. I saw a question in the chat earlier. Someone was asking kung may bayad ba ang therapy. Well, yes, meron, but for this month, under the My Nation Community Therapy Fund initiative, you can get a well-being coach session for free. So whether you want to donate, to book, or to redeem a session, please make a booking through the Mind Nation app. Download it through mindnation.com/app or through Apple Store or through Google Play, or you can message us through Facebook Messenger, which is bit.ly/mindnation-book. So again, that is the Mind Nation Community Therapy Fund.
Wow, so exciting, guys. And I think also a question we have here from Mark. So if you need advice for the panic attacks, please do try to reach out in the Mind Nation Facebook pages and the Mind Nation app, because definitely this is something we also want to empower, help everyone, all our listeners and our community to be able to manage ourselves better. Kasi I think one of the things that we are learning, na I guess with all the stimuli that we have in our environment, shinare ni Miss Celeste earlier, there was a social media. Sometimes we also have all these pressures in society, and parang with what happened to all of us during the pandemic, it has impacted us in one way or another. I really feel that all of us, in varying degrees, have just been traumatized. And because of this trauma, sometimes you really just need to talk it out. Sometimes it's enough to talk about it with friends, but it's always, it's really different with talking about it with a professional, because they might just see some patterns that your friends might miss out, because again, they've been trained to do this, to be able to help get us into awareness, get us into a bit of helping us manage how to regulate our emotions, ourselves, and so on. And with that, we Jack, final words from you. That's my last
Final
piece.
words. I would just say that it was mentioned earlier that therapy is a process, it's a journey. I would also want to add that we should start seeing therapy as an investment. Yes,
Yes.
you do need to exert time, money, and effort to do it, but it is an investment. It is a valuable tool where you can learn so much, from solving problems to improving your communication skills to having better relationship with people to tracking your emotions, keeping your stress levels in check, so many things. It can really help you build the life, the career, even the relationships that you want. So when you look at therapy as an investment, think of it as a way to ensure a better future, not just for yourself, but even for those around you. Ayan.
Yes, I love that. And with that, thank you guys for joining us this last Wednesday of the month, and we will see you here again in the with Mind Nation on the last Wednesday of November. But next week, catch us for our November coaching session. So with that, thank you, Miss Celeste. Thank you, Miss
Thank
Aiza. And
you.
Jack, thank you
Thank
for
you,
being my partner tonight.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.